you beat New Mexico State, and that's the one you get the monkey off the back. The goalposts get tore down. And what's funny is Langston told me, he's like, we were, at least he said this, he said, we were more nervous for New Mexico State than we were Georgia the following week, because it was like, well, now we've got the monkey on our back. We might as well go out there and win this one too. And you line up against those guys, and you're like, they're not that much better than us, if better at all. But yeah, I mean, getting that monkey off your back, then beating Georgia, and it's like it was on from there. I mean, yeah. So
I agree, totally, man. I mean, that first one was tough because, heck, when you lose that many games in a row, it's like, good God, can we win a game? I mean, are we just not good enough to win one in this stadium? Is it a chicken curse? I mean, what is it? So, but no, we just hung in there, worked hard. And then when we beat Georgia at home, though, that was they were ranked, I don't know, they were ranked high. They were, I want to say top 10, but I'm not positive. And then Quincy was the Heisman candidate and at quarterback. And then he, when he threw those 5 picks, and then we had a decent game throwing the ball, and then Derek Watson had a huge game with some plays that we had put in for that game. So, but when we beat Georgia at home, we knew then we had a chance. That was the game that really, New Mexico was hard, but when we beat Georgia at home, we were like, all right, we got a chance here, to build something. So yeah, that was a huge momentum gainer for us.
Yeah. Now those back-to-back Outback Bowl wins, of course, we got to talk about that. And 2 really interesting games. The 2001 Outback Bowl was the Ryan Brewer game, and you guys take them to the woodshed, by the way. And you'd never see it these days where, like, I just couldn't fathom South Carolina playing the same team back-to-back years, especially when it's someone as notable as Ohio State. But you guys did that. And again, that first game, you really take them to the woodshed. Again, Ryan Brewer has the game of his life and is the MVP and all that good stuff. And then the following year, you guys jump out to a huge lead. They storm all the way back, and then Daniel Weaver makes the game winner. I mean, both different games, but just as sweet, I'd imagine, again. And you closing out your career also in the 2002 Outback Bowl, with a win in that way. And again, to cap off, that 2-year run after going 1-21 in 22 games. I mean, just talk about those 2 games, and especially the 0-2 game, man, closing your career off that way. I can't imagine you could have scripted it much better than that.
You couldn't. And the thing is, if you had, I remember we were there for 8 nights, and, you go out to certain places in Ybor City and you see each other, you get to meet some of the guys. And if you would have lined us up and looked at each team, you said, well, South Carolina has no chance, because they were huge. I mean, they had just big. I mean,
this was a team that won the national championship the next year. So they were pretty good.
I was going to go there. So, the year we beat them in 2002, they win the national championship. So they had a lot of talent. I mean, and so I think that the difference was we had a little bit more speed at certain positions, especially probably defensively. We gave them issues. They were big and strong up front. They had a decent running game and all that. But we were
just typical SEC versus Big Ten, man. Just the speed.
It was speed, and speed kills. And so, no, I think we just had more speed than they did. And probably at that point, we had a lot of experience. We had a lot of juniors and seniors. And shoot, you got to think now, that year we had 6 or 7 guys drafted, which may be one of the most ever in South Carolina history. I mean, in one season. And then we had, 13 or 14 that were either drafted and or signed free agent contracts. So we had a lot of talent ourselves. And so, and with all the experience we had, I mean, we were the better team,
No, for sure.
Great. I mean, awesome experience. I mean, at that point in time, it was the biggest turnaround in college football history. I'm going to toot our horn a little bit there, but it was the biggest turnaround in college football history. So I mean, and it was the winningest 2-year span in the history until Connor and those guys came along. So I mean, that's something I'm still to this day we're all very proud of.